Problem with Central Vista, then problem with not being invited, now a problem with the aggressive emblem for the opposition. Major political face-off as the opposition questions the emblem atop new parliament building, say the lion is too aggressive in posture. As Pakistan journalist claims he visited India and shared secrets with ISI, focus on Pakistan PR lobby that aided such visits. Left with no choice, Uddhav also backs Draupadi Murmu as the opposition parties line up to show solidarity with the next president. Yashwant Sinha campaign flops completely as opposition unity remains in photo ops. It's clear he is nowhere in the race now. Owaisi takes on Yogi on population balance statements as Muslims being targeted. Undated Kali video puts the spotlight on the wrestler. Man shooting video says he was slapped. Kali calls it blackmail. Controversy over schools in Jamtara in Jharkhand declaring Friday as weekly holiday. State government orders investigation. Controversy in Punjab over Raghav Chadha appointment. Lawyer files petition challenging the post. As the Vadra Congress disintegrates further, now in Goa, Rahul takes off again, leave for unknown foreign location. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting you a story that no other channel is tracking. Once again, Republic TV gets you the latest details. Now, this is with regards to a fugitive. He was on the run, arrested in Hong Kong. This is with regards to a man who goes by the name of Ramjit Singh, alias Romy. Fugitive Romy is to be extradited to India. Fugitive has now lost the legal battle in Hong Kong. Ramjit Singh, alias Romy, was involved in the Nabha jailbreak case. In fact, Romy had appealed against the extradition order which was passed back in 2019. In fact, in September, the Court of Appeal had basically heard his plea, which has once again now been rejected is what we are being told. What's the latest we are picking up? Sources indicating that Punjab police is now awaiting the court order. The moment they receive the court order, sources say that the team would be leaving for Hong Kong after they get it. Republic has also accessed the court order. Who exactly is Ramjit Singh? What is his role in the Nabha jailbreak? In fact, full details right now on our screens. We take you through the details of that Nabha jailbreak where about 6 prisoners had escaped from the prison. The man behind it was Ramjit Singh, who was plotting this sitting in Hong Kong. In fact, details now coming in from that court order saying that he was actually planning this while he was in Hong Kong, sending in remittances all the way from Hong Kong. He is the one who has basically armed those group of persons who had entered the prison along with arms. In fact, they had overpowered the jail officials, finally leading to at least 6 of the prisoners leaving Nabha jail. Joining us on this broadcast is my colleague Amandeep, who's also getting us the latest details. Amandeep, what's new? We were told back in 2019 he was supposed to be extradited. Sometime in September, the Court of Appeals actually heard his case. Now, finally, the appeal has been rejected. The roadmap is very clear. He should be brought back to India anytime soon.
Well, absolutely, Shravan. And in fact, this is the big win for the security forces, just because Ramjit Singh Romy is the one who always involved into the terrorist activities in Punjab and associated with the banned organization Babbar Khalsa, whose operatives were sitting in Pakistan. And in fact, beyond Nabha jailbreak case, he was also involved into the RSS leader Brigadier Gagneja's killing case also. He has funded the killers in Punjab. And in fact, now that all the routes for Romy has been closed and his extradition has been approved by the court in Hong Kong, and anytime Punjab police can leave to bring him back in Punjab to interrogate him for the further investigation, just because now the Punjab police is just waiting for the official order from the Hong Kong, and soon after a team will be
We're also getting in some more breaking news now coming in. Uttar Pradesh police has formed a special investigation team to investigate Alt News co-founder Mohammed Zubair. That's the latest coming in. Remember, multiple complaints that have been filed against Mohammed Zubair, which is now finally been taken up. The first case registered by the Delhi police, following which arrest of Zubair has taken place. Thereafter, the ambit of the investigation certainly widening, something that has also been criticized given the fact that most of these cases which have been registered in the past are finally now being taken up. In fact, he's also been granted interim bail by the Supreme Court, which has now been extended. But this comes at a time with the Uttar Pradesh police intensifying the probe against Zubair. There are serious complaints that have come in against Zubair. We are being told that UP police has essentially got details of it and they have now formed a special investigation team. What would be the contours of the investigation is we'll try and find out for more of our colleagues who are joining us on this broadcast. In fact, Lakhimpur Kheri's Superintendent of Police Sanjeev Suman has now put out the statement. Uttar Pradesh Police has basically formed the SIT. Let me quickly go across to my colleague Priyanka, who's joining us from the Mumbai newsroom. Priyanka, walk us through the details that you're picking up.
Well, of course, the latest that we are picking up is, of course, the UP police intensifying this entire investigation and forming an SIT in this entire matter of Mohammed Zubair as well, the Alt News founder as well. We have seen the entire legal arguments as well that had been presented before the court when this entire matter was also being heard. And now the UP police also intensifying this entire investigation of a special investigating team that has been formed that will be looking into the entire contents of the entire matter. The investigation that will be carried out by the UP police. And we are also being told by the SP Sanjeev Suman that this SIT will be consolidated of several senior officials that will be a part of this SIT looking into the entire matter, investigating the Mohammed Zubair case that has also been pending with the UP police.
Thank you very much, Priyanka, for getting us the latest details on Mohammed Zubair. SIT now being formed by the Uttar Pradesh police. Shifting focus now to the other top story that we are focusing right now on. This is exclusive. The latest details coming in the Mundra port drug bust. Now, Gujarat ATS has essentially indicated that 75 kilogram of drug has been seized from Mundra port of Gujarat. Drugs were basically wrapped in a carbon paper to save it from being detected from the X-ray machines. Officials have also informed that about 16 Pakistani nationals and 3 Afghan nationals were arrested in 2022 so far. Let me also bring in my colleague Priyanka, who's getting us more details. In fact, we've been able to map the entire movement, starting from how the drugs that were basically procured in Afghanistan, how it moved from Afghanistan to Dubai and finally landing at the port in Gujarat. What was the objective? Where was it headed towards? All those details my colleague Priyanka is now getting us. Priyanka, just walk us through the details that you are getting us. Starting from the fact that it is procured in Afghanistan and thereafter moves to Dubai and finally lands in Gujarat. Who's really behind it?
Well, that's right, Shravan. This entire nexus had also been exposed by the Gujarat ATS and the DRI last year as well, when a massive consignment of heroin had been seized from the Mundra port, and there was a lot of tracing of that entire nexus that had been done, the intelligence of which has also been useful in this drug bust that has been carried out by the Gujarat ATS, and also intelligence sharing that had been done by the Punjab police as well. 2 of the officials of the Punjab police, in fact, had also gone with the Gujarat ATS team to the Mundra port to seize this drug container. Now, this container, in fact, had come to the Mundra port 2 months back is what we are learning. Now, since 2 months, the container had been at the Mundra port and this was supposed to be shifted from Mundra port towards Punjab. Now, another thing that we are picking up with respect to this nexus, Shravan, is that the kingpin of this entire drug cartel is also based in Punjab. There are several shell companies that have been registered under which this container in fact has been brought to the Indian soil via the Gujarat port, via namely the Mundra port. And not just the Mundra port, this is a cartel that also operates on other ports of Gujarat as well. Now, those are the vulnerable places that they are trying to find out that they can smuggle these drugs via, Dubai, as you rightly pointed out this time. a new nexus that we are seeing with respect to the officials' investigation is that via Afghanistan through Dubai to the Gujarat port is where these drugs were being pushed from, and via the Gujarat port were to be taken to Punjab, and then subsequently to other states like Jammu and Kashmir, Delhi and Haryana and other states as well. Is what we are learning with respect to the investigation being carried out. There are several shell companies that the authorities have also identified that they will be looking into that. There is one company that we have identified and we have gotten exclusive details of this, is that of the green trading company that is based in the UAE, and that is the one that had been smuggling these drugs via Gujarat port. Now also interestingly, this entire container had been named as slabs of textile being imported inside of India via the Gujarat port, and that is why the authorities are also looking at the companies that have been registered in Punjab, that have been registered in Haryana, and they will be investigating those parts of it as well. Also, we are learning that the kingpin has been identified, but of course we would not be revealing that information. But the authorities are also looking at that kingpin in Punjab so that they can also unravel the entire nexus of this drug cartel that had been running, procuring drugs from Afghanistan. Now a new modus operandi of smuggling those drugs from Afghanistan via Dubai through the Gujarat port, then to Punjab to Jammu Kashmir, Haryana, Delhi and other states as well. So all of that is being investigated upon right now, and several people have already been identified with the intelligence help of the Punjab police as well, Shravan.
Well, thank you very much, Priyanka, for getting us this exclusive massive drug haul now being busted by the agencies. As Priyanka was pointing out, this entire modus operandi of procuring the drugs in Afghanistan, bringing it to Dubai, finally landing in the port in Gujarat, and thereafter dispersing to states like Punjab, Delhi as well as Haryana, and not to forget also in Jammu and Kashmir. We've also seen a massive spike in heroin being brought into the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, which has also been one major cause of concern for the security agencies. Shifting to the other story that we are getting for you on This Is Exclusive. This is coming in from Kerala. A violent video of the SFI have now emerged from Wayanad. In this video, one can see chanting violent political threat. It's an undated SFI video that is coming in from Wayanad, in which SFI cadres can be seen sending out perhaps open death threats. Listen into this video, then we'll also go across to my colleague Ashwin, who's getting us more details that a complaint has also been filed in this case. Well, this is an exclusive brought by my colleague Ashwin from Kerala. Ashwin, first of all, translate this video. What does this essentially mean, and whether at all there has been any complaint that has been filed? If yes, then what are the details that you're picking up in terms of the investigation that's been done so far?
Absolutely, Shavan. This shocking video has emerged from Wayanad, and as per the local sources which we have got this video from, it has been stated that this particular sloganeering has happened on the very same day, that is on June 24th, when Rahul Gandhi's office was vandalized by the SFI. Now, the Student Federation of India cadres are clearly seen raising the slogan. What is the content of the slogan? First, they say, if you touch SFI, we will chop your limbs and we'll chop your hands. If if not, and then goes on to even say that we will even chop your head. Now, what is most shocking is the fact that the slogan that has been raised, we try to find out who the person who raised these slogans, and we get to understand is from our local sources that the lady in question is the area secretary of Parsi Raja College, and it's a very prominent college in Wayanad. Number two, we could also see lots of policemen standing right there with all kinds of shields and everything, and being a mute spectator to it. Now, such a provocative slogans has been raised by the SFI, by the Student Federation of India, the student wing of the left government, of the CPM as well. And so what is also shocking is that the police has not taken any suo moto case. We in fact try to speak to the police station as well. But we also get to understand, Shavan, is that the Congress activists have filed a complaint with the superintendent of police in Wayanad. In fact, we did try to call the superintendent of police but for today the superintendent of police, new person had come to take charge, so he was not aware of it. But otherwise, it has been confirmed that this video has come out from Wayanad. There are very provocative slogans, death threats, saying like we'll chop your hands and limbs and your head. And this is SFI. And the most atrocious of all is the ending of the very slogan, which says democracy, freedom and socialism. After saying all these threats of chopping limbs and hands, then they say democracy, socialism and freedom. Now, we also understand that no case has been registered in this regard by the police so far, but we are expecting, in the impact of this report, we can definitely expect the police to take action based on this video footage. Shavan.
Right. Well, thank you very much, Ashwin. Let's also listen in to that video that has now been accessed. A case likely to be also registered. That's the latest now coming in from Kerala with these details. Let's move to the other story now that we are tracking. Locals have now blocked the road in Jammu and Kashmir's Kathua district over the desecration of Lord Hanuman's idol. They say Hindu faith has been targeted again for the second time so far. Police have detained about 6 to 7 persons for suspected vandalism of Hanumanji's idol. Locals say won't go back till the perpetrators are arrested. Notably, this is the third such incident of temple vandalism in Jammu and Kashmir in the last 3 months. Republic is the only network on the ground. Getting us more details is my colleague Gursimran. Let's go across to Gursimran in a short while, but let's also listen in to some of the reactions that are coming in.
पहला खतरनाक वाक्य है तन से सिर जुदा। दूसरा खतरनाक एक्शन है शुक्रवार की इबादत के दिन को चंद षड्यंत्रकारियों ने और कुछ लोगों ने उकसाकर भड़काकर जो उस समय में पत्थरबाजी की और शुक्रवार को पत्थरवार में बदल दिया, जो घोर निंदनीय है। इसी प्रकार से सब चाहते हैं कि उनके मजहब की इज्जत हो, परंतु दूसरे के मूर्तियों को तोड़ देना, मंदिरों पर हमला करना, चाहे वो कहीं पर भी हो, तो इस प्रकार से यह सारी चीज़ें अनीश्वरीय हैं, असंवैधानिक हैं, अमानवीय हैं और ऐसे करने वालों के विरुद्ध स्वयं प्रशासन ने, प्रदेश सरकारों ने आगे बढ़कर संज्ञान लेना चाहिए। मैं तो हाई कोर्ट और सुप्रीम कोर्ट को कहूँगा, उन्होंने भी संज्ञान लेना चाहिए और ऐसे लोगों के खिलाफ सख्त कार्रवाई करके कठोर दंड दिया जाना चाहिए।
Well, that's the latest now coming in. Also, let's bring in my colleague Gursimran, who's getting us the latest details. Gursimran, quickly take us through the details that you're picking up. Massive outrage on the streets right now.
Yes, there is a massive outrage among the locals here in the village Mahanpur that falls in Kathua. Right now, we are at that very place. This is the temple and the locals are here. They are staging protest. I'll request Sarjeevan to keep showing you the visuals of the temple that has been vandalized. See, Sarjeevan is showing you. This is the place where the idol of Bhagwan Hanuman was placed, and they have entered this place. And they barged into this, vandalized this, and after that the idol of Hanumanji was vandalized by those persons, those miscreants. Police has now registered FIR. The police, visible deployment of police can also be seen here, and the locals are staging protests. What they are saying that they won't go back until and unless.
A massive development now coming in. Lakshadweep parliamentarian Mohammad Faisal and his nephew Abdul Razak have been booked. In fact, this is after a 25-member CBI team led by a DIG along with vigilance officials of Lakshadweep conducted a joint surprise check in the Indian islands over the case related to corruption and irregularities in different departments of the Union Territory. The departments that were basically raided by the CBI includes Lakshadweep's Cooperative Marketing Federation, Fisheries Department. They have basically launched a probe into the allegations of corruption in the export of tuna fish from Lakshadweep to a Sri Lankan company which was allegedly working with public representatives to cause loss to LCMF in a matter of exporting tuna fish to a company based in Sri Lanka without adhering to the necessary tender process and other formalities. In fact, under the direction of the public representative from Lakshadweep, LCMF obtained a significant quantity of tuna fish from local fishermen. This is a big blow for the Lakshadweep parliamentarian. We're given to understand he has now been booked by the Central Bureau of Investigation along with his nephew Abdul Razak, and also the MD is now being booked by the Central Bureau of Investigation. Now, there are massive allegations that have also been leveled against certain unidentified public officials from the Department of Fisheries, Lakshadweep administration, in collusion with some unidentified private individuals. CBI says that they defrauded the government of a significant amount of subsidy by fraudulently registering a sizable number of boats in the names of low-income residents.
In the latest Indian university rankings announced by QS, the world's leading university rankings organization, India's #1 ranked universities in various categories are IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, University of Delhi, University of Calcutta, and Amity University.
Getting a cab these days is nearly impossible because half the time you don't get rides. Even if your cab gets booked, you're not sure when it is going to get cancelled or how much you're going to pay. Now, answering all this, Mind has come up with beautiful solutions whereby we don't have a surge rate here because they go by government prescribed rates. Not just that, Mind has a beautiful feature where you incentivize the driver, ensuring that he will come and pick you up on time. So, thanks Mind.
मुस्लिम पक्ष अपना केस कोर्ट के सामने रखेगा। जो सूट पढ़ने की एक्सरसाइज थी वो कंप्लीट कर चुके हैं और कल वो अपनी बातें लीगल सबमिशन पे, लॉ के पहलू पे रखेंगे और मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि जब वो अपनी बातें लीगल पहलू पे रख लेंगे उसके बाद उनकी बहस ख़त्म हो जाएगी और उसके बाद हम उसका जवाब देंगे। आपके सामने सिर्फ एक बैकग्राउंड देने के लिए मैं बताना चाहता हूँ कि 25 सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जजमेंट, 25 सुप्रीम कोर्ट की रूलिंग्स हम कोर्ट करने जा रहे हैं, जिससे साबित होगा कि हमारा केस 7/11 से बार्ड नहीं है और ये केस मेंटेनेबल है और ये केस एविडेंस की कसौटी पर खरा उतरेगा।
आगे इसमें एविडेंस की स्टेज आनी चाहिए, उन सारी बातों को हम कोर्ट के सामने रखेंगे।
कल मुस्लिम पक्ष क्या करेगा? लीगल
देखिए, कल मुस्लिम पक्ष लीगल सबमिशन में जो प्लेसेस ऑफ वर्शिप एक्ट का उनका आर्गूमेंट है वो बताएगा, और मुझे लगता है कि जो भी उनके लीगल सबमिशंस में पॉइंट्स हो वो बताएगा। पर मैं एक बात कहना चाहता हूँ, अभी तक जो 4 दिन की हेयरिंग चली उसमें मूल बिंदु ये था कि जो हमने प्रॉपर्टी का सर्वे नंबर डिफाइन किया वो गलत किया है। 9130 इस संपत्ति का सर्वे नंबर नहीं है, और हमने पुलिस स्टेशन दशाश्वमेध कैसे लिख दिया, जबकि सत्य ये है कि जो काशी विश्वनाथ का गेट नंबर 1 है वो PS दशाश्वमेध में आता है, और 9130 सर्वे नंबर डीन मोहम्मद के केस में खुद ही मुस्लिम पक्ष ने लिखा हुआ था। तो ये इस तरह की भ्रामक बातें 4 दिन में की गई हैं, और जब हमें मौका मिलेगा हम उसको क्लैरिफाई करेंगे।
Hundreds queued up at Tokyo's Zojoji Temple to pay their last respects to former Japan Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, who will be laid to rest in a private funeral ceremony here. The government is expected to hold a separate memorial service at a later date. Australia's foreign minister urges Pacific Island neighbours to unite on shared challenges of strategic competition, climate change and COVID-19 at the Pacific Islands Forum held in Suva. The Micronesian state, Kiribati, has reportedly split from the 18-nation body in a major blow to regional unity.
Amid the mega turmoil in Sri Lanka, Republic accessed this dramatic sequence of Rajapaksa's brother who tried to flee to the US. Watch this video of Basil
More details now coming in. Lakshadweep parliamentarian Mohammad Faisal and his nephew Abdul Razak have been booked. Central Bureau of Investigation says that they are now carrying out searches at 6 locations including Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai, and a Colombo-based company has been named in the FIR that has been registered by the Central Bureau of Investigation. That's the latest details that is emerging right now. They say that there have been allegations of corruption in the export of tuna fish from Lakshadweep to a Sri Lankan company. The company's name hasn't been disclosed as yet by the Central Bureau of Investigation, but that's the latest details emerging with the CBI filing a case against Mohammad Faisal and Abdul Razak. That's the latest now coming in. Searches at 6 locations that are being carried out. And in fact, the allegation is that the parliamentarian has exerted undue influence to a Sri Lankan-based company. That's the latest. We're picking up on the story first, broken on Republic TV.
A private funeral was organized for the assassinated former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe at the Zojoji Temple in Tokyo. The Japanese branch of South Korea's Unification Church earlier acknowledged that the mother of the suspect in the assassination was a member but denied that it took large donations, which have been reported as a possible motive for the killing. Over 100 schools in Jharkhand's Jamtara have reportedly been having Fridays as holidays on account of the number of Muslims in the area. This is despite the authorities knowing. Now, the relaxation for such a change in holidays is reportedly only for those schools designated as Urdu ones, and according to official data, there are only 8 Urdu schools in the district. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has a visit scheduled for Himachal Pradesh today with a Tiranga Yatra to be held in Palampur. The Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann will also be present in the Yatra ahead of elections in November. As many as 83 people have been killed in rain-related incidents in Maharashtra between the 1st of June and the 10th of July. As per the State Disaster Management Authority, the deaths were caused by incidents like floods, lightning strikes, landslides, falling of trees and collapse of structures.
मुस्लिम पक्ष अपना केस कोर्ट के सामने रखेगा। जो सूट पढ़ने की एक्सरसाइज थी वो कंप्लीट कर चुके हैं और कल वो अपनी बातें लीगल सबमिशन पे, लॉ के पहलू पे रखेंगे और मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि जब वो अपनी बातें लीगल पहलू पे रख लेंगे उसके बाद उनकी बहस ख़त्म हो जाएगी और उसके बाद हम उसका जवाब देंगे। आपके सामने सिर्फ एक बैकग्राउंड देने के लिए मैं बताना चाहता हूँ कि 25 सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जजमेंट, 25 सुप्रीम कोर्ट की रूलिंग्स हम कोर्ट करने जा रहे हैं, जिससे साबित होगा कि हमारा केस 7/11 से बार्ड नहीं है और ये केस मेंटेनेबल है और ये केस एविडेंस की कसौटी पे खरा उतरेगा। आगे इसमें एविडेंस की स्टेज आनी चाहिए। उन सारी बातों को हम कोर्ट के सामने रखेंगे।
कल मुस्लिम पक्ष क्या करेगा? लीगल
देखिए, कल मुस्लिम पक्ष लीगल सबमिशन में जो प्लेसेस ऑफ वर्शिप एक्ट का उनका आर्गुमेंट है वो बताएगा और मुझे लगता है कि जो भी उनके लीगल सबमिशंस में पॉइंट्स हो वो बताएगा। पर मैं एक बात कहना चाहता हूँ, अभी तक जो 4 दिन की हेयरिंग चली उसमें मूल बिंदु ये था कि जो हमने प्रॉपर्टी का सर्वे नंबर डिफाइन किया वो गलत किया है। 9130 इस संपत्ति का सर्वे नंबर नहीं है और हमने पुलिस स्टेशन दशाश्वमेध कैसे लिख दिया, जबकि सत्य ये है कि जो काशी
Rejected Central Vista but wanted an invite. Does a roaring lion intimidate India's opposition? Watch the biggest story tonight at 7 p.m.
That's all that we could find.